lying to the Senate. They're lying to each and every one of you. With regards to so many different elements of this case, including some of what they're saying with regards to this. So these aren't just debunked conspiracy theories. Every single thing that I just said is 100% true, and the House impeachment manager should answer to you for that.
Senator Graham was down here earlier and said...
Oh, we're going to take some questions in just a second.
Go ahead, please.
You're next.
Look, I would just echo what Leah said. You're only hearing one side of the story here. I was asked on MSNBC, I think last night or the night before, was President Trump genuinely concerned about corruption in Ukraine? Of course he was. They said, do you have examples of his concern about corruption elsewhere around the world? Of course we do. Everyone in the country can see that. He's been talking about it as a central theme of his campaign before he was president. When he ran on the priority of America first, that's what he meant. He wanted to make sure that American taxpayer dollars were spent wisely and as good stewards overseas. And this was a part of that. I don't know why that is something that the House Democrats can never understand or don't want to understand, but it's a central part of the case here, and you'll hear more about that when our case is presented. Please.
I wanted to address some of the video clips that were played. First of all, I think the fact that they chose professors to speak to millions of Americans, they are not in touch with the viewpoints of millions of Americans. So I think it helps the president's case that the Democrats continue to put up anti-Trump professors as their key witnesses. Additionally, I want to address Fiona Hill's testimony. What was not shown was the response and the questions from the Republican House Intelligence members who voted in support of a report acknowledging Russian interference in the 2016 election, and also our proposals about how to combat any foreign interference in future elections. So that is the excerpt that was not shown. I anticipate we will continue to set the record straight, and with that, we will open it up to questions.
Congressman, Senator Graham was down here earlier and said that there's only evidence that Russia interfered in the 2016 election. There was no evidence that Ukraine did. So you said it was House managers, but it's also one of the president's most on.
Again, at risk of repeating myself, every single example that I just gave, is there a single example there that you would refute? I mean, any member of the media. Did Charlie not write? I mean, well, if we had Ken Vogel's story from Politico, we could go point by point. There are a lot of people in the media here. Does anyone want to say that Charlie didn't write his op-ed going after Trump? Does any member of the media here want to say that Avakov never made his statements going after Trump? Does anyone want to suggest here that Chalupa did not work with the Ukrainian embassy? Is there any member of the media here who wants to suggest that the Black Ledger wasn't used to take down a Trump campaign official? Would you?
What Trump mentioned on his call with Zelensky was this theory about the server being in Ukraine. You're talking about other things that Ukrainians may have done. That's not what he said. He brought up the server being in Ukraine. So are you...
A few things. First off, when I give you an example of fact-checking...
Isn't that what he mentioned?
Fact-checking the president, what was said on the floor of the Senate just now, when they say that the president only became concerned about corruption in Ukraine, when Vice President Biden started running, that's ignoring the fact that, for example, you had testimony from former ambassador, former special envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, who said that in September of 2017, President Trump was speaking about his concern about corruption with Ukraine. So we're talking about specific examples that exist. And again, no one is able to refute. I mean, you guys, there's a lot of smart reporters here. You guys do, I'm sure, a lot of homework on all of this. And we gave a whole lot of different examples of Ukrainians interfering in the 2016 election. And I'm here, we're vulnerable. The camera's on. You guys are all reporting.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
Senator, we've got it for you.
It was cogent, it was to the point, and most of all, it's on the relevant facts. And they're doing something else that I think is really going to serve the public very well. They are preempting the Senate. They are preempting the president's lawyers, who we know will make false arguments, and they are meeting those arguments before the president's lawyers get their chance because they won't be rebutted. Point one, they made it crystal clear you don't need a crime to remove the president under the impeachment clause. Point number two, they made it crystal clear that there was nothing to any kind of